Hi, this is Glenn from CTFairBet 2017. Today I want to go through, I was happy to hear Mr. Etess came back, but boy did you come back at the wrong time. So I'm going to go through some of this stuff you already heard, but I want to get people up to speed. On 5/31, I was getting 5/31/09. I was given a final written warning. The incident happened on 5/12/09, and they put me on a final written warning, which means if you make a mistake, or if you didn't make a mistake, a fellow employee has a problem with you, you get terminated. Okay, so as I was going through all my paperwork, I found a employee incident report dated 6/4/09. It's addressed to Dear Mitchell Etess. And I'm going to go through this kind of quick, and I got to keep some names out. But this letter is concerning a final written notice. Dear Mr. Etess, this letter is concerning a final written notice that I received on 5/31/09. Some people in management above table games have tried to help me with the blatant attacks against me and the frivolous complaints, but it was both unethical and personal the way they came after me. So on 5/31 and 5/12/09, I received two different record of discussions for non-existent EO policies on graveyard. I requested a copy of the EO policy from shift managers Rosemary Grimsley and Trevor Newman. However, they could not produce one because one doesn't exist. On 5/18/09, I went to a woman named Juanita Brooks, who was the table games counselor. And I informed her about the problem, and she said there was no clear or written EO policies. So that's page one. Page two, Mr. Etess. On 5/12/09, I was given a written notice for an alleged mistreatment of coworkers. I'm sorry, that has to be wrong. On 5/30, I was given a final written notice for alleged mistreatment of employees. However, this is just many of the outrageous discipline actions I had to witness at Mohegan Sun. They do what they want when they want because there's no oversight. And again, for the politicians that are looking at this, I want you to follow what I'm saying, because they can take your job for whatever they want, when they want. And even when you appeal to Mitchell Etess, he, like so many other people, have done nothing. So I'm going to keep on going on with this. Okay, I got called back into the office for write-ups from Trevor and Rosemary, and I ended up having a severe panic attack and anxiety attack. The first call, my blood pressure was 205/160. That was taken by the paramedics. Those kind of blood pressure is life-threatening. So, also based upon my previous existing medical conditions for panic attack and anxiety attacks, which are recognized by the American Disables Act, it was very hard to bring disciplinary action against a sick man who is a heart attack survivor, Mr. Etess. Currently, I have intermittent medical leave in place at Mohegan Sun for these medical conditions. In closing, I'm requesting that my ROD for a non-existing EO policy be rescinded. Also, my final written warning should also be rescinded because I was just sick and the policies for the EOs were not in place at that time. Thank you for your attention to this serious matter. But Mr. Etess, you didn't get back to me one way or the other. You just, let it go by. So, Mohegan Sun, since they're regulated by themselves, they have changed my days off when they wanted, changed my shift when they wanted, will give everybody off without using personal time off, but I had to use personal time off. I got a list here of about 22 things they have done to me. And back in the old days, I could have found somebody in the street and I could have punched somebody's teeth in. But I have 3 kids and I have to take care of them and I have to act responsible. But this is a emergency report from William Backus Hospital dating 5/12 of 19. And there's a lot in here I'm not going to go through, Mr. Etess. But when they took me, they were shooting me up with Valium. They hit me 4 times with 4 milligrams. Blood pressure, 191 over 128, 186 over 134, 915, 167 over 104. My breathing was shallowed. Next, it was labored. Mr. Etess. But you didn't even bother getting back to me. So, part of why I'm doing this is try to right what was done wrong to me. You owe me $57,000 that Kim Doubleday contacted my lawyer about. But since you're a tribal casino, you can do whatever you like. And you have done. So you and I both know, put it this way, the Mohegan Sun OJ trial, Maria DiGiacomo is in her 25th month of litigation. And it still hasn't been adjudicated by your kangaroo court. So you and I both know I'm not getting my $57,000. So I'd rather get $57,000 out of exposing all the things that has been done to me and fellow employees. So the report I have here, I'm going to black out a lot of things because my business, I don't mind. That can be out there. But there's other people's name on this. And I don't want them to be part of this. Because nobody should go through what I went through. And before I went to the office, I took Klonopin, which is something that the doctors gave to me to calm me down from anxiety attack, panic attacks, and depression. At the time, my children were 5 and 7 years old, and I was a single father. And Rosemary, Trevor, and the gentleman that Ian replaced, they thought it was fun to come after me. But I venture to say they wouldn't do that off the property. But it is what it is. So I'm going to keep this short today. Mr. Etess, I wish you would look into the Maria DiGiacomo situation. 25 months. And that still isn't over. You beat me for $57,000. This week, my son is off school, and he does all this. And our New Jersey link is going to go up. And you have a license at Resorts International. You manage the property. Well, I'm a Jersey guy. Technically, I started my first casino job in '80 in security. but technically I started dealing in 81. So the Casino Control Board or the DGE, my next set of videos are going to be toward Atlantic City, but it's going to be it's not going to be CTFairBet. But folks, you can contact me at CTFairBet@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. And Mr. Etess, in closing, why hasn't Maria DiGiacomo's case that the state police said there was no issue? Why isn't that 25 months? Aren't you embarrassed? Also, the $57,000 you owe me, I want my money. You know I'm not going to get it, but I still like to act like I'm going to get it. Everybody, again, please contact me at CTFairBet@gmail.com. Take care. Talk to you soon.